Hi, everybody. Hey, how are you? Happy Feel Good Friday to you guys, my friends. That live button went a whole lot faster than I expected it to. I was like, what is going on with my hair here? And the next thing I know, we're live. So, hey, it is what it is at this point, I guess. Hi to all of you. I hope that you have had an amazing week and are looking forward to a fun Feel Good Friday show, right? It's my favorite day of the week. I love Feel Good Fridays. And before we get started, I always do a little bit of housekeeping and take care of all of the info. Then we can move on to all of the amazing things I've got in the show today. I've got some pretty pieces today. I hope you guys enjoy all of the cool designs that are available in the Etsy shop right now as we speak if you want to shop ahead of time. All right, so let's see. Housekeeping is as follows. Guys, don't forget to set your reminders for 4 p.m. Eastern Time this afternoon for Master Maker. Master Maker happens over on JTV Extra. If you have a hard time finding links to that, you can always come to the community or come to the feed in YouTube, and there is a link that is posted there for you to go directly to that show. The cool thing is that if you will go ahead and click on the link, you can save that link for later. So what I mean by that is, like, in particular, if you go to the JTV website, so if you go to jtv.com and you scroll down to the bottom, there's a whole list of little clickable words down at the very, very bottom. Like, you have to scroll all the way down. In that list is JTV Extra. If you'll click on that, it'll take you to the lineup, the show lineup, because I'm not the only person who streams on JTV Extra. If you will search and find Master Maker, there's a button that says save this link, and you can save that link for later and come back to it later. So that way you don't have to rush at the end, like right before the show, to try to find it. As always with Master Maker, I encourage you to come and hang out with me just because we want to show them what a strong community we have. You don't need to feel like you have to buy something while you're there. Maybe I'll persuade you to do so with a cool project, maybe not. But what I want you to do is come and hang out with us if you can, and just show your support and hang out for the project, because regardless of what the items are, I always do a project, and I can give you a little sneak peek, not necessarily a peek, but I can give you some insider information as to what I have in Master Maker today. I've got large hole gemstones, and I've got buttons, which is one of my favorite things, and I've got leather. So if any of those things sound intriguing to you, please come over and hang out for Master Maker. Is Master Maker free? Of course it is. It's just a live stream, just like any of the other live streams that I do. However, it just streams in a different location. It's just over on JTV Extra. But it is 100% free to watch. Doesn't cost you a thing to hang out for the project. All right, so that is that. Also want to mention to you guys that technically we don't really open for enrollment until next week for Hardwired. However, it is Friday, it's the end of the week, so I do want to kind of push it a little bit because we always have a really big crowd here on Fridays. And so I wanted to mention to you all that the Hardwired group, which is my paid Facebook group, it does open for enrollment at the end of the month and the beginnings of the coming up month, right? So we're kind of at the end of that month. It's not officially the end of the month, but if you want to come and be a part of Hardwired, now is the time to open, or now is the time where we are open for enrollment, meaning that you can go and apply to be a part of that group. You just want to be sure that you answer the questions that are provided there, and that is how we will know to send the invoices to you. So if you're thinking about it over the weekend, it's officially open for enrollment on Tuesday of next week, but it never hurts to put that information out there ahead of time so that you can kind of come and take a look at the group and maybe make some decisions about that over the weekend. Have I sent out the invoices yet? No. So Kathy and Ruth are in charge of invoicing, and the invoices don't actually go out until the very beginning of the month. Kathy usually tries, depending on how it falls, she usually tries to do like the last day of the month or the first day of the month, kind of just like I said, depending on where that falls in the week, because she doesn't like to work on weekends either. So, no, the invoices have not gone out yet for that, but they will be soon. All right. So I think that's the only thing I need to tell you guys. We will be doing Bargain Bead Box next Tuesday at 1 p.m. for our regular Tuesday show. Okay. All right. So let's get started with our Feel Good Friday show. It's time for me to sit up straight and actually, do the things. So, welcome to all of you to our Feel Good Friday show. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Feel Good Friday, let me give you the quick little rundown. So, Feel Good Friday show is exactly that. It's all about feeling good on your Friday. I want to send you into the weekend feeling inspired and creative. And I want you to make easy instant gratification jewelry pieces. And I make that easy for you because everything that you see in the Feel Good Friday show is available as a kit over in my Etsy shop. My team is here in the comment sections, both on YouTube and Facebook, dropping links directly to all of the projects that you see so that if you see something and you're like, ooh, I love that, I want that, click on the link that's in the comments. It'll take you directly over to that item in the Etsy shop, and then you can add it to your cart, right? So that's how Feel Good Friday works. Now, Feel Good Friday, we always focus, because it is easy, fun, instant gratification jewelry, we always focus on simple techniques. We don't do a lot of hard things here on Fridays. We focus on simple stringing, simple knotting, wrapped loops, simple loops, things like that. We do not want you to go into the weekend being bogged down by a new technique that you've learned. I want you to go into the weekend feeling happy and uplifted and inspired, not thinking, oh my gosh, I just learned something new and now what am I going to do? Should I practice it this weekend? No, I want you to go into the weekend reminding yourself that beautiful jewelry does not have to be a representation of every single skill that you've ever learned. You don't have to put all of your techniques into one piece, right? Sometimes we just make beautiful jewelry because we like it, not because we want to show off everything that we know how to do. So that's how our Fridays are usually. That's what the way our Friday. This hair is driving me crazy. It feels like something's getting me. That's how our Fridays are thought of. That's usually the mindset that I am in when I'm creating kits for Fridays. So we also always start out with a maker mix. Maker mixes are small batches of beauty goodness, things that I don't have enough of to create an entire kit out of, but I still want to share. As you can see behind me, I have a lot of beads in this room. Not all beads in this room are there enough of to create kits with. So I still have cool things that I want to share with you. And that's why I put these little maker mixes together, just so that I can give those to you guys. There's no project that comes with them or anything like that. It's just a mix of beads, cool little things, usually something that has like a theme to it. And then it's up to you to create whatever you want to with it. So it's just a little way to dip into my stash and help me kind of go through my beads. So that's what the maker mixes are all about. All right, so we're going to get started with that. I'm going to show you our maker mix for the week, and then we're going to get into our projects. I've got 2 bracelets and 3 sets of earrings. 2 of the bracelets come in 2 different colorways, as well as 1 of the sets of earrings. So let's get to it, shall we? All right, turning you guys around, and we're going to make our way. Hopefully, this tripod's about to drive me crazy, but we'll make the best of it, right? All right, so our maker mix this week is called Neon Reef. And the reason that it's called that is because it started out this beautiful blue and blue-green mix of amazing check glass beads. There's Drux in here, there's Crackle in here, there's Hishi beads, there is a Baroque check glass in here, but then I also threw in this pop of pink because of this fancy check glass bead that is in here that has that blue and pink. So I threw in the crazy pink, which just gives it a little kind of neon boost. So this is Neon Reef. It's all of those beautiful blues and blue greens, but it's got that insane hot pink in it that I absolutely love. So that is our maker mix for the week. I'm kind of a fan, I'm not gonna lie. Like, this color palette is really, really exciting to me. So there is the maker mix for the week. I'm going to set that to the side and we are going to get started. So speaking of those pink beads, I've got some really cute earrings that, again, comes in 2 different colors, one of which is in that hot pink. So I'm going to show these to you. These are our first projects of the day. All right, so I've got this pair. that is very difficult to see the color of those check glass fire polish beads in this, but they are a really, really soft lavender, and they have a flash, that AB flash to them. The camera is not picking up the color, and the picture that I took of these doesn't do them justice either. It's absolutely a beautiful bead in person. You're just not really seeing it very well. And then it's got the shell coated pearl. So that's one of the choices for the color. The other is this crazy pink that I kind of love. It goes together the exact same way. So you just have to choose either the pink or the purple from the pull down menu over on the Etsy shop. And I'm going to show you real quick how to put these together. They're simple and they're fun. So we're going to put the mate to the pink one together, and we're going to start out easy peasy. We're going to take an eye pin and we're going to thread on 3 of the check glass fire polish in this really beautiful pink color. All right, so we've thread that onto an eye pin. We're going to do a simple loop. So we're going to grab that wire right where it is exiting that top bead, and we're going to bend it over the top of the bead, not over the top of the pliers, just over the top of the bead. Then we're going to come in with our cutter tool, and we're going to trim off, leaving ourselves about 1/4 of an inch of wire. And we're going to use our round nose pliers to grab that wire, and we're going to roll back to create a loop. So we've got a loop on the top and a loop on the bottom. You're going to make 2 of those per earring. So you're going to do a total of 4 of these. And then we're also going to take our beautiful mermaid bead here in this crazy pink color, and we are going to thread that onto a head pin, and we're going to do a wrapped loop on this guy. Now, anytime you see a wrapped loop or a simple loop, you can do whichever you prefer, right? If I do a wrapped loop and you prefer a simple loop, please feel free to do so, and vice versa. All right, so I'm coming in with my chain nose pliers. I'm going to bend the wire. This time I'm bending it over the top of the pliers. That's going to give me the space that I need for wire wraps. So the pliers do all that measuring for me. I don't have to do it myself. So when I take the pliers away, you can see there's a space between the bend and the top of the bead. That's going to give me room for those wire wraps. I'm going to come in with my round nose pliers, grab that wire, take it up and over the top barrel of the beads. Then I'm going to, or the top barrel of the pliers rather, and I'm going to rotate the pliers in my hands and guide the wire over to finish off our loop. And now I'm going to wire wrap in the space between that loop and the top of our bead. All right, so I'm just going to grab that with my pliers, and looks like I've got room for about 4 wire wraps here. Tidy that up just a little bit. All right, so I've got my wire wraps. I'm going to come in with my cutter tool and trim off. Laura says, I wish Sarah, and when I read something like that, I immediately perk up. She says, I wish Sarah would have people submit pictures of what they make with their maker mixes. That would be cool, I think. You know what? I used to do that. We used to have a contest. We don't do the contest anymore because we didn't have a whole lot of submissions like we did in the beginning. And then, you know, the interest in it kind of dwindled. But we used to have people post what they made with their maker mixes for that contest. And since we don't do the contest anymore, we just really kind of stopped doing that. But you know what? I think it's a great idea. If you make something with your maker mix and you want to post it to show everybody, I think that's an awesome idea, because I do love to see what everybody does with their maker mixes. So please feel free to do that if you want to. And you can mark it and let us know which maker mix it was. That'd be really awesome. All right, I'm going to take my jump rings. I've got 2 jump rings per earring. I'm going to open up my jump ring here. This is going to be my top jump ring. And I'm going to thread on 2 of the loops, to 1 loop per, you know, my little beaded sections here. Before I close this one, I'm going to go ahead and add my ear wire to it so I don't have to reopen it or open the loop on the ear wire. I'm going to close that back. So there's the top of our earring. Then I'm going to take a second jump ring, open that up, and I'm going to thread on the bottom loops to those little check glass sections. And before I close that, I'm going to thread on my mermaid bead and close that back. So there is our earring. Easy peasy, but they're so cute. And I love this pink. This pink is one of my very favorite colors in the entire world. You guys know, if you've been with me for a while, I used to not be a pink person, but this hot pink color, oh, I love it. And I used to have my fingernails in that hot pink color. And since we're getting into fall, I've kind of changed a little bit. I can't wear my hot pink all year. But I can do the second best thing and wear jewelry in that color. Even though it clashes with my hair, I don't even care. So these little earrings come in it's one listing, but you have to decide which color you want unless you want to buy both of them. And I'm not going to stop you from that at all. But the pull down is going to either be purple or pink. So this is definitely the pink pair and this is the purple pair. Either one is absolutely beautiful. They do kind of have a different personality. The pink are like really loud and like fun and vibrant, whereas the purple pair is a little bit dressier in my opinion because it has that shell coated pearl and the AB fire polish check rounds on this one are just, they're a little more sparkly. So they look gray against this matte, but I promise you they're a beautiful kind of light lavender, like almost a blue, a very, very light blue in person. Really pretty. All right. So that's our first little set of earrings for the day. I'm going to move these over. Right. Pink is really hot right now because of that Barbie movie. Everybody's into the pink and I'm loving it. I do love those mermaid beads too, because they're just so cool looking. They look like they glow. All right. So moving on. Let's see. What should we do next? Let's do another little pair. We'll do all the earrings first, right? And then we'll move on to our bracelets. So I've got another pair of earrings for you guys. This is a simple pair, but a really beautiful pair. This is another one of those where the picture and the lighting here does not quite do it justice. These check glass flowers are drilled in the center. They're silver on the back. So quite honestly, if you wanted to use the silver as the front, you could. But on the other side is this really cool AB finish that has a flash of pink and green. And I know that's really hard to see on camera, but it is pink and green. And to go with that is a faceted bead on the top here that is also pink and green. So it really kind of ties all of this together. This is a simple pair of earrings, but really, really pretty. For those of you who are going to be like me and have a hard time kind of letting go of this summer colors, right? This is definitely going to be a pair of earrings you're going to be able to wear all year and kind of remind yourself of spring and summer, even though we're getting into the fall season now. All right. So to wire wrap these, we're going to take a piece of wire that is included in your kit and you're going to stick it through the center of the flower. And I like to keep mine to the side just a little bit where I have a short wire and a long wire. The long wire is where I'm going to do most of my wire wrapping and adding my other beads. So I don't need it to be in the center. I'm going to take those two wires and I'm going to crisscross them over the edge of the bead. And I try to find the little dip between the two petals. You can do it wherever you want to, but I do find that it looks nice if you do it between that little dip there. All right, so now that I have those two wires crisscrossed, I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to take that longer wire and I'm going to bend it straight up and down. I'm going to take the shorter wire and I'm going to bend it this direction. So we have kind of an L shape going on. Now that shorter wire, I'm going to wrap it around the straight wire. Now, normally I wrap upwards, right? But for this project in particular and some of the other brio type wrappings that I've done lately, I like to wrap downwards or just wrap outwards to make kind of like a little swirl or a platform for my next bead. So that's what I'm going to do here, but you feel free to do this however you want to. So I'm going to start my wire wrap around this. And instead of going upwards, I'm kind of going downwards, like towards the bead instead to make like a little messy wrap. Now, you don't have to do it that way, but I do like that little wrap. It's almost like having like a spacer in between there, right? Now I'm going to come to the back here and I'm going to trim off the excess wire. All right, now I'm going to thread on a metal bead. that also has some beautiful flowers. And then I'm going to thread on my little facet. And then I'm going to do a wrapped loop and add my ear wire to it. So I'm going to grab the wire right where it is exiting the bead, bend it over the top of the pliers, come in with my round nose pliers. We're going up and over the top barrel of the pliers, rotate so that I can take the wire over to the other side. And then you're going to wire wrap in that space. Just kind of lining everything up. Then I'm going to come in with my cutter and trim off the excess. And we're going to add our ear wire, and that's it. That's it. These are so pretty and so easy to put together. Really, really like these. And I think that you're going to love the color when you see these in person, because it most definitely is pink and green. It does not come across as pink and green on camera, but I promise you, depending on how you look at these in the light, they most definitely are pink and green. It just, you can almost see the pink in this one. It's just weird because the lighting in here just doesn't do it. But the facets on the top are also pink and green. They definitely match. I just wish that I had better lights to show you, but so pretty and such a cute little easy pair of earrings. So I'm going to set these to the side as well. All right, I've got one more pair of earrings for you guys, and we're going to move on to our 2 bracelet projects. Now, this is an easy project. This is something that we do kind of on a regular basis here because I do love a bead cluster, right? And I'm a huge fan of lamp work. It's one of my favorite things. Like, lamp work beads to me are tiny little works of art, and I'm not partial. It doesn't matter to me really where they come from or who does them. I do love the ones that an actual artist sits down and hand makes the most, but I don't judge in beauty that way, because there are some like these that you can get like a full strand of that are just as pretty. So we've got a little beaded cluster on the bottom here with some crystal bicones, and we've got that beautiful lamp work. And the lamp work has pink, yellow, and blue flowers in it. It's just a really, really pretty bead. So we're going to put these together, and they're fairly easy to put together. So you're just going to take almost all of your bicones except for 2. One for each earring that goes on the top here. You're going to take 5 of them per earring, and you're going to put them onto head pins and do wrapped loops. So 4 of them are already done. I'm going to leave one out to go at the top, and we're going to wire wrap this one together. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to thread it onto a head pin, and we're going to do a wrapped loop. So grabbing the wire, bending it over the top of the pliers. Again, we're going to come in with the round nose pliers, going up and over, rotate the pliers so that I have room to take the wire over to the other side, and then we're going to wire wrap in that space. It looks like Lilo's dress, says Wanda. I agree. I never really thought about that before, but it does. All right, so just tidying that wire wrap up a little bit. I'll come in with my cutter tool and trim off the excess wire. Okay. All right, so again, you're going to do 5 of those per earring. So you're going to do 10 total with the wire wraps. Make sure you leave 2 of them out to go on the top of each one of your earrings though. Okay, so let's go ahead and build ourselves a little cluster here. And you're going to do that with a couple of jump rings. And I feel like there it is. It was hiding. All right, so we're going to take 1 jump ring, and we're going to open that up, and we're going to take 1 bead, thread that on, and we're going to close that back. Okay, that's going to be the bottom of our cluster. We're going to take another jump ring, and you're going to open that jump ring up with a twist, thread that onto the jump ring you just added to your bead, and now you're going to put a bead on either side. You want to be sure that a bead goes on either side of that previous jump ring so that it hangs nice and balanced. So I'm going to put a bead on this side, and then I'm going to put a bead on the other side, right? Then I'm going to close that back. That makes everything hang nice and balanced. Okay, so now I'm going to take another jump ring and I'm going to do the same thing. So that jump ring goes on to nothing because I literally just broke that jump ring. Okay. That's okay. We can improvise. I don't know how that even happened. Take another jump ring. That was interesting. All right, we're going to take another jump ring, open that one up, and we're going to thread that on. Still making sure everything is nice and balanced when we pick that up, okay? And again, a bead on either side. So one on this side and one on the other side. Now, before we close this, take your eye pin and go ahead and thread your eye pin on and then close your jump ring back. Grab onto that eye pin and you've got yourself a little cluster, right? Super pretty. I love red. You guys know I'm a huge fan of red. All right, so now I'm going to build the earring. I'm going to thread on a bead cap. Then I'm going to thread on my lampwork bead. Hi, Rochelle. And we're going to thread on another bead cap on the top. And Kim says, Sarah's hulking out, breaking jump rings. And then we're going to thread on our last bicone on the top. Just so pretty. We're going to do a wrapped loop on the top and add our ear wire. And these are done. So bend the wire. Coming in with our round nose pliers. Right. So up and over. Rotate, take the wire over to the other side. I'm going to switch hands here so that we can do our wire wrapping. And then I'm going to come in with my cutter tool and trim off the excess and add our ear wire. I love these. And red is such a cool color because you can wear it literally no matter what the season is, right? Because there's red in the fall leaves. There's red in the holiday season. There's red in the spring. There's red in the summer. Like you can't go wrong with red. All right, opening up the ear wire. I'm going to add that to our wrapped loop and these are done. Super cute little sassy pair of earrings. I love these. I think they're so pretty. They're very sparkly, so you can definitely dress these up, but you could wear these with your jeans if you wanted to. Thank you, Rochelle. I love you. Thank you. All right, so that's the last pair of earrings in our show today. Now I've got 2 bracelets to show you. We're going to spend a little bit more time on our bracelets here. All right, so I've got one bracelet that comes in 2 different colors. And I'm going to show you the blue and we're going to put the orange together. They both go together exactly the same way. So this is the blue version of this. Now listen, here's one of the things I want you to know about this. This is a rather large bracelet once it's all put together. And I did that intentionally because I wanted to be sure that this would fit different sizes because everybody has kind of a different size need when it comes to bracelets. I in particular need a little teeny tiny like baby size bracelet because I have twig wrists. Other people who have normal sized wrists need a little bit larger bracelet. And there's a couple of ways that you can adjust the length in this. So this is the blue version. We're going to put together the orange version. They both, like I said, they go together the exact same way. But I do want to point out some areas where you can really adjust the size of this. So first and foremost is this little area right here where I have just made like a little chain out of jump rings. You have all of the jump rings in the kit to do this, okay? You don't have to use all of those jump rings. Now, if you're going to do this for a customer, you're going to put this on your website or your craft booth, maybe you want to use all of those and use that as kind of like an extension chain so they can shorten it up by just clipping their clasp to one of the ones further this direction. So that's one way to adjust it. If you're going to make this for yourself or you're going to make it for a customer that you know needs a smaller bracelet and this little area right here, you don't want to change that, take out one of these entire little groupings. Okay, so you have enough of the Drux and the check glass fire polish, either the orange or the blue, so that you can leave one of those sections completely out, and it's going to make a shorter bracelet. So those are two areas where you can really kind of adjust this one according to what you kind of need. So this is the blue one. Has these beautiful Druk beads that have that little flash of AB on them. So they all kind of have that kind of multicolor to them. The cord for this is purple. You've got blue bicones, heart, and you've got a druzy bead as well as a check glass bead that also kind of has that AB flash in the grid of squares here. So this is the blue one. They go together the exact same way. Let's put together the orange one. Not everybody likes this orange color. This is like a carnelian orange color. This is a great fall colored bracelet, but I did want to do blue as well because, like I said, not everybody is a huge fan of orange, and that's okay. That's totally fine. All right, so we're going to take our nylon cord and we're going to find the ends, take the two ends together, find the middle. And once you have found the middle, you can take your connector, okay? You're going to take that little loop and you're going to stick it through the loop in your connector. And then you're going to take the ends of your cord and pull those through that loop to create a lark's head knot. Just like so, okay? All right, now we're going to thread on. So for the orange bracelet, instead of a druzy bead, we have a jasper bead. We're going to thread our jasper bead onto both of those cords. Right, it is a little bit more on the red side than orange, for sure. This is definitely like a carnelian, a deep carnelian color. It's like a brick red almost. All right, now we're going to tie an overhanded knot, and we're going to pull that down next to our bead. It's just an overhanded knot, and it doesn't have to be like a perfect, there's a little wiggle room in here. I'm okay with that, right? I'm okay with that. We're not pearl knotting here. We're just knotting beads. So we don't have to get super crazy about it. All right, again, we're going to take a check glass twist and thread both threads, just like we did with the other beads. So both threads go through, and then we're going to tie another overhanded knot. Pull that knot down next to your bead, close as you can get it. All right, now we're going to separate out our strands, okay? I hope we can get through all of this. So we're going to take our two strands of cord, and each strand is going to get 3 beads. Okay, so there's 3 on that side and 3 on the other side. Then we're going to bring those 2 strands together and tie another overhanded knot. Okay, so just bring those together. Bring the 2 cords. Tie an overhanded knot. And then you're going to do the same thing again. And you're going to do that until you use all of your check glass beads, unless you need a shorter bracelet. And if you want to adjust the length via the beads, you're going to do 1 less of these little groupings. So there's 3. And 3. Whoops. And again, we're going to bring those together and we're going to tie an overhanded knot. Gina says, I love a good bracelet design by Sarah. I talk with my hands so a bracelet is most noticed by others. Plus, I can look at it. That's me too. I do, and you guys know that about me. I talk with my hands like crazy, and I have to I have to be careful not to do a lot of talking with my hands on the lives because it can be a distraction. But I am very much an animated. Everybody that lives with me, it's like living with a cartoon character. Like, I'm so animated, and I talk with my hands very frequently, and I find that that is true for me as well. People notice your bracelets that way. You talk with your hands a lot. People, it catches their eye, and they're like, "Oh, I want to see that. What do you have on today?" Always a cool way to get your bracelets noticed. All right, there's 3 more. I'm going to bring those together and tie another overhanded knot. Jan, I love you so much. Jan says, Jan's over on YouTube, 276 watching this live. Make sure you hit that like button. Listen, I want you to hit that like button. And if you can, or if you would like to, be sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's a great way. It's a great alternative to watching the replays over the Facebook replays. I know that you can always come back and watch this as a replay on Facebook. However, the controls for that, like the fast forward and the pause and all that, are a little more tricky. I find that people find that it's easier to rewatch this on YouTube, just because it's easier to hit pause or fast forward to what you want to get to if you're going straight to the projects. So if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. I also want to mention to you guys, some of you noticed that I was looking for a video editor. And of course, I have since found one. I need to delete those posts where I was looking for an editor. But the reason that I was looking for a video editor is because over on the YouTube channel, we're going to start taking, or not we, but my editor is going to start taking our Feel Good Friday projects, and they're going to edit the projects down to small bite-sized versions. So that's going to make it a little bit easier for you to come back and rewatch. So if you buy the kit and then you want to come back to the project instead of having to fast forward through the entire live to get to it, my video editor is going to have it as an individual little video. So that's really going to be, I think, helpful in the long run. So just know that that's coming to my YouTube channel. I won't be able to do that on Facebook because Facebook's not set up the same way that YouTube is. That's why I really encourage you to sign up, or subscribe rather, for my YouTube channel. All right, this is our last little section of circles here. They won't be shorts, Heather. Eventually, though, we are going to work towards having some little shorts. The shorts are a little bit too short for these little projects, but we definitely are going to make our way there. Just one thing at a time. I gotta get my editor used to working, because the funny thing about video editors is a lot of them don't know how to make jewelry. In particular, the video editors that I'm going to be working with, they don't know about jewelry making. So it's going to take them a little while to kind of get used to how the projects go. And then we can go from there. So that's the goal, but one thing at a time. All right. So now we're going to take our clasp and we're going to tie our clasp on as well. Now, I've not used glue anywhere in this bracelet, but I will recommend using glue at this point. Okay, so you're going to thread your clasp on to both strands. Then you're going to tie another overhanded knot. You want to pull that knot down as close to the previous knot as you can and pull that down. In fact, if you cover that other knot, that's okay too. It's whatever works. But you're going to pull that knot nice and tight. Okay, now this is where I would add some hypo cement. So if you've got some of this GS hypo cement, I would put a little dab of that on these 2 knots right here. If you want to go ahead and do a third knot and maybe knot over or do a double knot here, you absolutely can do that. But I would still recommend using a little bit of hypo cement here because you don't want your clasp to come undone, right? Okay, so now I'm going to take my 2 ends to make some little dangles because you know I can't not make dangles. So I'm going to thread 2 bicones on each one of these. And I'm going to do a surgeon's knot, just meaning I'm going to loop my knot twice, basically. Pull that down. You can make them as long or as short as you want them to be. Then I'm going to trim off. So I've got one little dangle. That one's a little long. That's okay. I personally would make them a little bit shorter, but I mean, you know, whatever works. And we're going to do the same thing with the other one. Now, you don't have to do this. If you don't want these dangles, you can save these bicones for something else. Make some matching earrings out of them if you want to. And you could just cut your cord short, but not until you let that glue dry. Okay. All right. Trimming that off as well. So I've got 2 little dangles there, but that's not enough dangles for me. I need more. I'm so in love with this orange bracelet. I can't even get to tell you. Every time I see it, I'm like, gosh, that's so pretty. It's one of my favorite oranges in the whole world. So that's kind of the way, that's why I feel the way I do about it. Okay. So at this point, this is also some of the things that you can leave out if you don't want all of this extra. It's totally up to you, but you've got a decorative ring, both in the blue and in the orange. You're going to take your jump rings and open one. You're going to attach it to your connector over here. This is a place where you could add more dangles if you wanted to, right? All right, then you can use your jump rings, like I mentioned before, to make a little chain out of this. This can be an extension chain or it can just be part of the design. But basically, it's just double jump rings. That's all it is. There's nothing really, it's not chainmail or anything fancy. It's just 2 jump rings on 2 jump rings on 2 jump rings, and then ending in a single jump ring. And that single jump ring, whoops, attached to this one. My goodness, if I could hold on to things today, that would be helpful. I'm missing a jump ring here. Hold on. There was a reason why I had left this all together, and now it doesn't want to cooperate with me at all. Okay. My goodness. There. It's getting a mind of its own, right? Hook that on there. Close that back. Okay. And if you want to finish that in a single jump ring, you can, or you can double this up and make it even longer. The bottom line is that you've got plenty of jump rings in this kit to make this as long or as short as you want it to be. That's going to be my jump ring where I attach my clasp, unless I need to make it shorter, and then I may attach it here. All right. So last but not least, I have one more potential dangle that you can put wherever you want to. I couldn't not include this. So I'm going to thread it onto a head pin and make a wrapped loop. Oh, that's why I had that extra jump ring. We're going to take one of those jump rings off here in just a second. All right. So I'm going to do a wrapped loop on this guy. With all those jump rings, I was just connecting them, totally forgetting that I was going to use one of those jump rings to connect or add my little dangle. So I'm going to very carefully open this jump ring. I'm going to leave that just like that. And this single one on this end, I'm going to take that off. again, you can put this together however you want. You don't have to do it this way. I'm going to use this little jump ring right here for those two. Just like that. I was going to say, because that was a lot of jump rings I had going on right there. Now, I have this extra jump ring for my dangle. You can put your dangle on your decorative ring if you want to. You can pop it in between some beads anywhere you want to. Literally put it wherever you want to, or don't put it anywhere. I'm going to put mine right up here with my clasp, just over those knots, so that right here where my clasp is, I have that pretty little heart and those little dangles, and that is the orange. So it comes in the orange, comes in the blue. I saw that the numbers of the blue was coming down. There may not be any of the blue ones left. I don't know for sure. But it does come in 2 different colors, but they're 2 different listings. So this one's not one of the ones where you have to pick one. So there's an orange bracelet listing and a blue bracelet listing. I just thought it was easier that way. And I wanted to be sure that I included the pictures, and I couldn't get a good picture of both of these in the same shot. So that's why these are 2 totally different listings, but they do go together exactly the same way. The only thing that's different about them is the beads. You can put them together however you want to. So there was a question Erin had asked, can you add a crimp cover over the knots to hide them when the bracelet is knotted at the closure? You absolutely can. So anywhere you want to put a crimp cover, you can. If you want to pop them in between each one of those, you can. Anywhere there's a knot, if you want to hide that, or if you want to turn it into a bead, because essentially that's what a crimp cover does, you can do that. So please feel free to make this your own. Once you get this kit home, you can put it together however you want to. You can leave things out. You can add extra things in. You can put crimp covers over your knots, whatever you want to do. You can even exchange your clasp out for a decorative one. Totally up to you. But that is our first bracelet. We've got one more project and then we'll be done. So I'm going to sit this over here to the side, and we're going to put together our final bracelet. This is another knotting style bracelet. This one has one of my favorite jasper bead colors. This one is a rosa. It's a Terra Rosa jasper bead. And I'm a huge, huge fan because it's one of the very few jasper beads that I know of that has this kind of purple mauve color to it. And I had 3 different kinds of it. It's all the same thing, but everybody's got a chunky in their kit. And then you've got 2 coins of the same thing in your kit. One's a little bit smaller, one's a little bit larger. But the colors there are so pretty. It's a purple that's on the purple brown side. This is going to mix really well with your deeper maroon reds, your purples, and a whole palette of browns. So I thought this was a really a good fall kind of bracelet. But the Rosa Jasper it's just one of my favorites. So I mixed this with some beautiful, let's see, I've got 2 pieces of quartz here in a raspberry color. So there's some dyed quartz, and then the rest of the beads are check glass rondelles in 2 different sizes, 2 different shades of purple. So this one's a little bit deeper. This one is a little bit lighter, kind of pulling all of the colors from the Rosa Jasper. All right, so those are the colors. We've got heart beads. Some of the heart beads are a little bit different. They're all the same size, but maybe have a different decorative element to them. But basically are all the same. And then you've got a handful of metal beads here. All right. One of the major parts of this bracelet is there is a chain section and your clasp. The chain section, like the other bracelet, is where you can adjust the length. If you don't need all 4 links of chain and you need your bracelet to be a little bit shorter, take one of these links out. This is also a great opportunity to add extra dangles. I don't have extra dangles in the kit. Gasp, I know. But you most definitely could add some cha-cha elements to this bracelet by adding some of those extra dangles to the chain section. All right, so this is another one of those bracelets where we are using some cord, and we're going to take our cord, and same thing that we did before. We're going to find the ends. We're going to fold it in half. We're going to take that loop through the loop on our clasp. and we're just going to do a lark's head knot. So we're going to pull our ends through that loop, pull. Okay. All right. Now, first things first, we're going to thread on a metal bead, and that's going to go onto both cords. We're going to drop that down. Okay. Now I'm going to thread on the larger of the coin Terra or Rosa Jasper, and then both cords will fit. Okay. Then we're going to do another metal bead, both cords. Okay. Now I'm going to do 3 of the large and the darker purple rondelles. Both cords will fit. Might take a little, you might have to add a little DNA to this one, or you can definitely add some glue to the ends to harden it up, or some clear nail polish, but both cords will fit. Okay, so we're going to do 3 of those. Okay, then we're going to do another metal bead. We're going to do one of our quartz beads, and I'm threading these onto both cords. Okay, then we're going to do a daisy spacer. Then we're going to do our chunky monkey nugget bead. We're going to drop all that down, and we're going to repeat that, but on the other side, instead of our coin, we're going to use our heart. So this bead's got this bracelet rather, has got a lot of really cool kind of texture elements to it. All right, so our daisy spacer is going on. Our quartz bead is going on. And then a metal bead. We're going to do our 3. Yes, these are Picasso finished rondelles. Jennifer, yes, they are. Yes, they are. We're going to do our 3 of the larger rondelles. These are the ones that I kind of struggle getting my cords through. They do fit. It's just, if your cord starts to fray just a little bit, it can be a little bit of a challenge. So all 3 of those are going to go on. It's a little coaxing. Or like I said, you can use a little DNA. I hate to do that, but sometimes you just gotta, you know. All right, there we go. Okay, so next up is a metal bead, and then instead of the other coin, because the coin is a little bit smaller, right? You could, if you wanted to, put the other coin on this side, but I'm going to use mine as a dangle because, I mean, I love dangles. So instead, I'm going to thread on my heart. Now, the heart is kind of tricky. It's got a nice large hole. If you can get both cords to cooperate and go through both, then that's awesome. But for me, because I just don't have the patience, I'm just going to thread 1. Because it kind of has to traverse the inside of that bead. And you may find that it's easier just to do 1. A little tricky. You got to like get it right at the opening on the other side. Nope, I missed. So close. I'm so close. It definitely helps if you stiffen up the ends of your cords, then you most definitely can get both through this, but there we go. I got it. Okay. Oh, I lost it. No. Oh, there we go. Okay. Quick. I'm just going to take the other cord and go across the side. You don't have to do that, but I just, because I don't want to fuss with it anymore, that's what I did. And then my metal bead's going to go on just like that. Okay. And now we're going to tie this onto the other side of our chain, or one end of our chain, because mine, when I started out, my chain was attached, right? So let's pretend like our chain wasn't attached. Pick up your chain link section, and just like we did with the other bracelet where we tied on our clasp, you're going to tie it onto the chain link, and you're going to pull it down as close, well, or not. What just happened? Let's try that again. I'm going to end up with 2 knots on mine. That's okay. I'm okay with it. If I could hold on to things, we'd be in business. All right. Let's use the beading all this time. Or maybe... No, I think I got it this time. All right, there we go. Again, this is an extra glue area, okay? You're going to need to put some glue on that for sure, especially if you're going to cut this off short. But double knot it, whatever you need to do. I'm going to take this link off because I didn't even realize that I had this in the wrong spot. It's all right. I can fix it just like so. Okay. My clasp will attach to any of these links, depending on what size bracelet you need. Okay. But again, I've got cord here, which means I can have another dangle, right? I can have 2 more dangles. So I'm going to take my smaller rondelles. May need some DNA. A baby giraffe. There's a new baby giraffe. Oh, in the Tennessee Zoo with no spots. I'm going to have to look that up. That's crazy. I got to see. All right. So same thing. I'm just going to tie a knot like I did in the previous bracelet. You can double it over if you want to, whatever works for you. Make it as long or as short as you want it to. And you can trim off. I'm going to do the same thing on the other one. No idea who's calling my phone right now. Apologize if you can hear it buzzing. All right. Tie a knot. Trim off the excess. I've got little dangles there. And then last but not least, I've got a jump ring and my extra coin jasper bead. And I'm going to do a quick wrap loop. And then again, this is one of those dangles that you can add literally anywhere you want to. It must not be the Knoxville Zoo because I would have heard about that all over local news. And so I'm guessing that it must be at a different zoo in Tennessee, but that's still pretty exciting. And I'm going to need to know. I'm going to need to know more information about that. That's too cool. With no spots. That's pretty amazing. All right. So last is to add that dangle. And again, put it wherever you want to or leave it out completely. I'm going to put mine. Where do I want mine? Do I want to put mine here? I guess I will put mine here just kind of because I did that with the previous bracelet. But again, you can put it wherever you want. It makes no difference. This is totally your design. So you can put it together however you want to. It's got this really cool chunky chain that you can add extra dangles from if you want to. But more importantly, I think in this design is this beautiful Terra Rosa jasper. It's just so different from any of the other stones that I have in my collection, because of that purpley color. It's got that nice mauve that just I don't see a lot of in my my gemstone beads. So I was really happy to get to put together a kit and share some of those with you guys. They're all going to be different. Obviously, they're all going to look different because they all are different, but the sizing is going to be pretty much the same. All of the nugget chunky pieces are about this size, and your 2 coins, one is definitely going to be a little bit smaller than the other. You can mix them and match them however you want to incorporate those into your bracelet. But there you go. All right, guys, I'm going to turn you around and we're going to do a quick run through and then we are going to be done for the day. I do want to thank all of you for letting me be a part of your Friday afternoon. Don't forget to set your reminders for 4 p.m. Eastern time for our Master Maker show over on JTV Extra. So there is that beautiful Rosa Terra Jasper. Those purples are so pretty, and you get to see it in a different way this direction. The lighting when I hold things up is a little bit different, so you really get to see like the depth of those purples. It's just so pretty. And then of course we had our blue, which is a gorgeous cobalt blue, and then our orange, that beautiful kind of carnelian orange. And then we had our earrings. I'll run through those really quickly. We had our beautiful flower earrings here with that pop of green and pink. We had our sassy red lampwork earrings. Love those. So pretty. And then last but not least, we had these in both the purple and in the pink. So these are the purple ones. You can see that soft purple color this direction better than you could when it was on the mat. So there are those. And then we had those in the pink as well. Which are so fun. So fun. I love these. They're so cute. So cute. All right, guys, that's it for me for our Feel Good Friday show. Thank you so much for joining me, letting me be a part of your Friday afternoon. Thank you for letting me be a part of your beading journey in general. I love our Fridays together, so thank you. Thank you for everybody who makes purchases in my Etsy shop that helps me to keep the lights on and makes it possible for me to continue to put these awesome projects together for you guys. And speaking of awesome projects, don't forget to set your reminders for 1 p.m. on Tuesday. That is our regular Tuesday live. We'll be doing Bargain Bead Box, and I've got a fun little announcement in regards to Bargain Bead Box. You don't want to miss that, right? Don't forget to come hang out Master Maker at 4 p.m. this afternoon. If I don't see you later, you guys have an amazing rest of your afternoon and a great weekend. And I'll be back with you guys soon. I love you so much. Bye, guys.